Hello guys, B.O.R.G Dexter here, and today I will be reviewing Stray, a game published by Annapurna Interactive and developed by BlueTwelveStudios. This is their first game released. You can buy it for $30 on Steam or the PlayStation Store. You can also get it free of additional charges if you are subscribed to the PlayStation Plus Premium package, which is the highest PlayStation Plus tier. Stray is a third-person action-adventure platformer, I guess you could say, because it contains all those elements, though in varying quantities. You play as a yellow cat, and at the beginning of the game you find yourself accompanied by a few feline companions. First, you interact with them, which leads to some pretty cute moments, I'm not gonna lie, even though I was always way more fond of dogs, since cats, in my opinion, can be petulant, rude, and provocative little beasts. I must say though, this particular cat got under my skin pretty fast and I found myself liking the little creature. When you are done socializing with your pack, you go for a nap, and the next day, when the weather clears up, you set out to conquer the concrete jungle you find yourself in. This is basically a tutorial that demonstrates and teaches you movement. It also shows that the cats in this game they behave like real life cats. They got that down really good, and the animations for the cats is great. After a while, you land on an unstable pipe, fall down and slide down from quite high. From here, the quest to return to your pack once more begins. You will find a guiding hand soon, pointing you in the right direction via TV screens and cameras, for example. After following the clues for a while, you will come upon a small android called B12, who was the set guiding hand, and he will give you a neat backpack in which he will be housed when not in use. He will also serve as a translator and guide, since the characters in this game speak a kind of gibberish language, kind of you heard in Okami, for example, just more robotic. After that, you will find yourselves in the slums, the lowest, most decrepit area of the Walden City, where you will come upon robots that inhabit it. At first, they are very untrusting and cautious, even fearful of you, but when they realize you are not a threat, they will quickly open up to you. Okay, enough about the story for now. First, I will talk about graphics a bit. The graphical fidelity of the game is nothing special, to be honest, just decent, which can be said of the animations of most NPCs too. While the cats in the game, like I said, are animated way better. The look and art of the settings in which the game takes place looks great and sets up a great atmosphere. The slums look old but completely abandoned, with ragtag buildings in disrepair. The dark wet alleys sparsely lit up by neon give off a vibe of a place no one wants to live in, but some are forced to. The sewers, for example, which is one of the hostile areas in the game, they contain one of the two enemy types called the Zerks, and they look equally great. Zerks are a form of bacteria that were originally sent by the people from the upper levels of the city to deal with the ever-growing problem of trash. Instead, they mutated and began to eat everything, organic or otherwise, not just trash like they were originally meant to. This is reflected in the surroundings. Fleshy corridors with lumpy growths, complete with Zerk eggs from which they burst when approached close enough or when they are destroyed. Eventually, you will come upon big eyes growing out of the walls, following your every move with unnerving intensity. This section felt at times more like a horror game. I really liked it. There are other locations in the game, such as Midtown, Ant Village, a jail, a factory, and some others. Each of these locations brings with it a different look and vibe, with the music to complement it and provide a nice variety. On the topic of music, I really cannot say much. I don't know what to say, other than that I found the music in the slums unusual, and in other parts of the game it was nice, complementing other elements, like I said before, but somehow it didn't really stand out to me, with a few exceptions to that. Not bad, but not particularly memorable for me. By the way, the music from the music sheets that you can collect and then bring it to the musician in the slums to play is very hit and miss in my opinion. Some are just plain bad, while others are okay, they are decent. A bit more on the characters of the game. As you are a silent protagonist, you are limited in character expression, so other characters try to pick up the slack, especially the lovable B12, who, by the way, I found more lovable than the cat itself. You can hate me, only one for that, especially when he is peering with his big round eyes from your backpack. He is on a quest to recover his memory, which you automatically do at certain points of the story, but you can also find optional memory bits scattered throughout the game, which you can pick up. These serve as tidbits of background story, providing interesting info on the city and its former and current inhabitants, as well as info on B12 and his former master. There are a few other notable side characters among the androids, namely the Outsiders, whose goal it is to lift the lockdown of the Walden city and go outside. These characters are Momo, Zbaltazar, Clementine, and Doc. Hopefully I pronounced those names well. Some of these characters are underdeveloped, well, most of them, but some like Clementine and Doc are a bit more prominent, perhaps due to the fact that you actually spend time with them during gameplay itself. As far as other robotic inhabitants go, most are inconsequential. Some merely serve as characters for the occasional fetch quest. The game tries to tell a sort of a mini story about the origin of robots and why they do things that robots don't really need to do, but do so anyway just to mimic their creators who were human. Like one time I came upon a bowl of soup with PC components in it, or why do they go to work, for example, or why do they buy clothes. Ultimately, I feel like it's a bit of a missed opportunity and the origins and purpose of the robotic denizens could have been explored more. Now, a bit about the gameplay. Most of your time will be spent running about and climbing, and like cats do, being an asshole if you choose to be, which I most definitely did. You can knock down all manner of things like bottles, paint cans, vases or vases, whatever, books, just to name a few things. Not to mention that you can ruin rugs and leather couches by setting your claws upon them. You can also trip up people that are walking and make them fall, then meow brazenly and run away. I love to do this. This is a game that has almost no combat, save for a bit in the sewers in which you use the Defluxer, a weapon developed by Doc that emits a purple light killing the Zergs. Other times you will have to outwit the Zergs and use your superior agility to get away. There are also sections of intense chases where you must evade the rushing Zerg, I mean Zergs, not Zerg. Sorry, StarCraft, my bad. These were always fun. There are also the Sentinels, which are small robots that you have to sneak by, so there is some stealth in the game. You can also meow to attract their attention. If they spot you, they will chase and shoot at you. I must mention how the game provides a great verticality, and it took me a while to get used to playing as a cat, seeing as how it provides more freedom of movement and more nimble gameplay options, since you can squeeze through small holes and jump pretty high for an animal of your size. This game actually reminded me just how much athletic cats are. The game also has some light puzzles and collectibles. First, the collectibles. There are the previously mentioned music sheets, then there are badges, of which I found only one, energy drinks which are exclusive to the slums, and they serve as currency to buy things at the merchant in that area. Then there are scratch points and nozzles. As far as I know, most of these things serve only as trophy targets, while providing little in the way of meaningful distractions. As for puzzles, they are easy and serve to break up and vary the gameplay a bit. These mostly consist of moving a barrel in a spot to use it as a jumping off point, or moving these big blocky boxy robots to stand on a pressure pad, for example. Sometimes you are given a hint in an item you receive and have to do a little deductive work to progress. Like I said, nothing hard or challenging, but a welcome addition anyway. As far as performance goes, I played on PlayStation 5 and had only one instance where the game slowed down, almost to a halt, and I believed it would crash, but it didn't. I also encountered one visual bug. And one sentinel kind of freaked out and started behaving erratically. I think I broke him. As far as the PC version goes, I cannot claim what it is like since I didn't play it, but I did a bit of research and it seems a considerable number of people have issues with performance and crashes occur, even though it is highly rated, very highly rated on Steam. So if you can, buy it on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 just to be on the safe side. So far I was pretty praising of the game, but here come the issues. First, a minor gripe considering movement and the camera. During intense sections when numerous enemies chase you in tight spaces, the camera can sometimes get kind of confused, which can prevent you from jumping in the right direction or from jumping at all. Then the game is pretty short. It took me about 6 hours to complete it with taking notes. And if you want to find all collectibles and get the platinum, it could take you about 2 additional hours. Way less if you are using a guide. There is no replay value here whatsoever, but the chapter select at least helps in hunting down the remaining collectibles, so you do not have to play the whole game all over again. The game is also way too easy in my opinion, even if it does target a younger audience, if that was indeed the developer's intention. There are no difficulty levels to speak of, and if you die, you respawn at the nearest checkpoint, which are fairly regular. I also think that the price is a bit too steep. $20 would have been far better. The strongest thing this game has going for it is the overall world design and the atmosphere. At least for me, that was the case. It also helps, of course, if you are a big fan of cats. I feel like the fact that you are a cat will be the only thing this game will be remembered by, even as soon as a few months, since it is somewhat rare to have an animal as the protagonist. Okami and Dog's Life on the old PlayStation 2 come to mind for me, and Dog's Life was far better and memorable in my opinion, especially for the time it was released in 2003. Look up the game if you don't know what I'm talking about. It goes without saying that Okami was far better, but it was also a different kind of game, leaning more heavily in the RPG territory, so I will not overly compare these two. I will also take into consideration that this is the debut title for the BlueTwelveStudio and the fact that this is not a full-priced game. With that being said, I give Stray a 7 out of 10. Guys, thank you for watching the video, and if you liked it, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. Subscribe and click the notification bell if you want to see more videos. My channel is still new, but more videos are coming. And let me know in the comments down below what you think of this game. Do you agree with me? Thanks for watching. Bye.